It's the most anticipated Top Chef challenge of them all, Restaurant Wars.
Woo! Let's go, Restaurant Wars!
First table of judges is sitting down in patio 2.
The agua chili was bright and tart.
The whole dish is beautifully seasoned, just the right amount of heat.
Channel took the prize with dishes that really impressed the judges. And on the other hand, Dos by Duel was a Mexican Asian fusion restaurant minus the fusion. So today, I've invited Restaurant Wars guest judge Stephanie Izard to answer the question, how do you approach fusion cuisine? This is the Dish with Kish. Stephanie Izard, come on in. Someone with 6 restaurants, multiple restaurant award nominations. All the things.
All the things.
How do you approach fusion?
For me, when you bite into a dish, you shouldn't necessarily be able to taste the two cultures separately. You want to find something that brings the two cultures together, and then you can kind of shout out to both.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, because I will say, when I think of Dos by Duel and where kind of their missteps happened, they were trying to push Asian and Mexican together, but the Asian part wasn't very focused, and it just kind of felt like the little sister on the side that didn't have a place yet.
It's interesting because I was eating with Gail. We didn't even eat together.
We didn't eat together.
So we had very different experiences. When we ate at Dos by Duel, we walked out of there super pumped. But later when we started to dive in and really start to dissect, it didn't come together as it should.
The flavors of your dish were really lovely, but in the context of the restaurant, the butter sauce felt a little bit out of place.
You put the pickled bamboo to bring that acidity, but felt a little bit like an afterthought just to Asian it up.
So if Stephanie Izard was on the team of Dos by Duel, what's one dish that you would make?
I was thinking about this caramel sauce that we make at my restaurants that's made out of coconut. Season it with fish sauce. So we're taking these Southeast Asian flavors and we actually put it on corn in our restaurant. So it's like an elotes made with the caramel.
All right, let's start cooking because I'm very hungry. I don't know what you need. Clearly you don't know either.
Let's see, so corn. So we've got some shrimp. You need to find the coconut. That's kind of the first step, is getting the coconut to reduce.
Coconut milk? Where is it?
Right in front of you, Chef. Okay.
Right in front of me.
Yeah, keep going. Warmer, warmer, warmer. Open.
Oh, it's in the cabinet.
I have to open the cabinet? Oh, God.
Oh, look at
How
this.
dare.
Oh, yay.
Fish sauce?
Yeah, and then we're gonna use those other ingredients to make a spice mix, too.
Okay.
So, what was your Restaurant Wars? Who was on your team, do you remember?
Oh, I remember.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I was the executive chef. And mind you, when I went on to Top Chef, I was a sous chef. I had never been an executive chef. I never opened a restaurant. I didn't know how to be a leader. Did we test this?
No, not yet.
Keep going, keep going. The bouillabaisse is a mess. It was supposed to be frothy consistency. All right, please keep going.
Foamy substance on your fish that I didn't seem to get. Maybe I got it and it dissipated already.
If you have so little broth, you gotta get a smaller bowl. I can't do anything with this. Something happened back there.
Ours was pretty incredible because it was me, Antonia, and Richard, so we had a very, great team. But I was the one that owned my own restaurant. I'd opened it when I was 27, so I was like, I'll take the front of the house. I can remember I was wearing, tall boots and this dress, and I thought I was so cool that I got to be all dressed up on Top Chef, and they had to put my microphone around my thigh, and I felt so, badass, you know? But I remember booking it from the front of the house to the back of the house, to try to solve any problems.
You only get one try.
Right.
It's gotta be polished.
Kristen took maybe too much responsibility, and maybe rightfully so. It's your concept.
Kristen, please pack your knives and go.
It's an intense. It's very intense.
I think we're both having a little post-traumatic stress on this one.
It is hard. It's terrifying. You know you're going to be judged harshly on it. At the end of the day, you still have to produce really great food.
All right, so let's season this up. So we've got fish sauce, sweetness from the coconut, and the brown sugar. Can you put a little spoonful of sambal in there? So we're adding a little bit of spice, some acidity from the limes.
How many shrimp am I doing?
Oh.
I just keep going until the chef says stop. So what was your concept for Restaurant Wars?
It was similar to, I would say, like a gastropub. So it was kind of different. When you think of Restaurant Wars, you feel like it all has to be super fine dining, or I feel like back in the day it felt like it. There's one dish that I made. It was almost a cross between a cheese plate and a dessert. And I just remember Bourdain's feedback being so positive.
I was really impressed.
That's just a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of those moments you can, obviously, can't get back.
Where was Tom?
He had an event that day that.
Oh, Tom had an event.
Well, we're in the middle of just getting our restaurant ready to go. We didn't know that it was going to be Anthony Bourdain instead of Tom.
Hello, chefs. Just wanted to let you know that Tom's away and that I'll be filling in for him today. Now, how'd you line up assigning the responsibility?
Richard's gonna be back here with me. Stephanie's got a lot of front of the house experience.
You do?
Yeah, I own my own restaurant and I opened it myself, so I figured maybe I could try this restaurant. It makes your heart sort of stop for a second and you just start sweating profusely and you're shaking. It's not that Tom isn't scary, but you're already used to the Tom scary.
Right.
But you only have one chance.
Terrifying.
Kind of grill up the corn on here. So this is a little trick that I do in my home kitchen.
So we asked fans on social media, send in all the burning questions about Restaurant Wars.
Oh, that's awesome. They're probably
everyone
so excited,
asked.
right?
Okay, so the first one is Rachel. Are there any restaurant concepts that the judges feel like are too easy?
Maybe in the beginning there might have been before my season, but Restaurant Wars has become this sought after episode.
I don't think there's such a thing as too easy. It can be easy, it can be simple, if it's perfect.
Right, but neither of us have been there for all of it. I mean, do you remember any?
I don't think I would say it's easy, but I would say the most common.
Do you want to come cook, Donnie? We've never seen you cook before.
I'm not gonna cook, but I'll come stand here.
And Donnie has been with Top Chef since season 1.
So you have seen,
I've seen it all.
everything.
You remember everything.
Well, not so much anymore. It's been a long time.
As a person that sees everything, do you guys ever get to try the food?
That's the thing. We tell them to make the right amount of food for the right amount of people dining, because
So there's not extra.
not extra waste. I think some of these guys might attest to like digging into pots and pans as we're cleaning up from location.
Because you're looking at it, of course you want to try it.
So Christina from Richmond, Virginia wants to know, how long does it take most teams to come up with a concept for Restaurant Wars?
You don't have a lot of time to figure it
I was
out.
gonna say, that's the thing that people don't realize. You only have the time that you're sitting in rules, which might be like 20, 30 minutes.
Right.
And then your 30 to 45 minute on-camera menu plan. That's it.
Just thinking about like all of us together is a very global thing.
Totally
and I think we could kind of dip into that a bit.
So then what does that mean, though? Like,
Right,
very
yeah, for
global,
sure.
it's very, very broad. I think the water is a
I was gonna
big
say, if we
inspiration.
focus on like
'cause
seafood and vegetables, we have this amazing backdrop.
For any challenge, Restaurant Wars or any other challenge, you don't have a lot of time to think about what you're gonna do.
No.
And whatever that first immediate thought is in your brain, you just have to run with it. Because
Yeah.
if you don't, you're just gonna waste a bunch of time.
I'm gonna make this quick spice mix. So I'm taking chicken powder, just because it has so much flavor in it, ground coriander and tahini together.
Amazing.
And this is gonna be a little spice mix to go on top.
Got a couple more questions here.
Okay.
We're there if you want.
So we have Arturo from Austin, Texas. What's the first thing judges look for when food comes in?
I mean, I think we always eat with our eyes first. Is it making you excited to dive into it?
I don't know if I think too much about it, to be honest.
She's like, I just eat.
I let it come in, I eat it, and then the first thing I do, though, after I take my first bite, is then look at the menu and say, are all like the words that you're calling out in ingredients matching the dish?
One thing that I found interesting about you this season,
Watching me eat?
Watching you eat.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like stuff because you'd only take one bite of it and then put it down. And I was like, oh, she hates that. And there's like, no, I know immediately with one bite, I love it. And I don't need to eat any more of it. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I would want to eat the whole thing if I liked it.
When I don't like it, I take more bites, because you're trying to figure out what's going on. Taryn from Brookfield, Illinois. Which position do you truly think is the hardest? Front of the house seems like such a challenge for so many of the chefs.
That's cheesy. How about a little human interaction? Jackson,
Yes.
what's up with this?
It was supposed to be fun.
You're here to welcome us. You don't need that.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for coming.
There you go.
When I go to my restaurant, I live 90% in the kitchen. And then, you know, they're always like, Chef, can you come out to the dining room? And I have to psych myself up. Like, I'm not ready to be
You're changing gears.
Yes.
Because you're
it's
in there being,
completely
you're
different.
serious, Kristen, in the kitchen. That's like cooking, focused, making sure everything is going out okay. And they're like, can you come say hi to this guest? And you're like,
hi. Yeah. I'm not busy.
Oh, I have like a stack of tickets in my hand. There's 100 that I haven't even called to the kitchen yet, but how are you?
I mean, you're eating. You know why? Because you're going to actually judge the food. I want to hear what you have to say.
Is there a butter knife? I'm gonna cut the corn off of the cob.
You don't.
I'm not gonna eat it on camera like that.
You make me eat it on camera.
Oh my goodness. Picking it up.
You're eating it. Go on, don't eat. We're doing this together.
This is just meant to be super casual. It's something you would have even at a little backyard barbecue.
There we go.
So it's almost like taking elotes, but adding in a Southeast Asian coconut caramel. We've got sauteed shrimp, coconut caramel that's been seasoned with fish sauce, lime, sambal, some cotija cheese for a little bit of saltiness.
Cheers.
Cheers to corn in our teeth together.
Mmm, it's really good.
But why? Tell me what's good about it.
It is
Describe
sweet.
what you're seeing and what you're tasting.
Well, you're trying to chew.
Yeah, it is sweet. It is savory. It's not too spicy, which is great.
But why is it great?
Because it hits all those flavor notes that you want to have. I like the char on the corn.
Sure.
It's not too crunchy. It's perfect.
Perfect. She said perfect.
Oh, corn's perfect.
You said perfect.
I went in for a second bite.
This is like, it's one of those things that you like the sauce and your hands are all dirty and then it's just kind of finger licking good. And you just...
Explain the fusion point of view.
There's definitely flavor profiles from both Mexican cuisine and Southeast Asian cuisine coming together, but I don't think you could look at this dish
say
and
that it's
say
one or the other.
either
I agree.
necessarily.
I agree.
And I think that's kind of the key.
And just so we're clear, I am taking more than one bite. It's not because I don't like it. It's because I'm just really hungry. And it's delicious. Well, I'm gonna put Restaurant Wars behind me, and I will see you next week when May Lynn and I focus on something very different. Writes the